This video is the third of a sequence of sessions titled How to Release Pain and Suffering. And I'd like to suggest that you review the first two videos 7a and 7b of this series before going on to this third video 7c. In this video, I will continue to show how we can comfort ourselves, soothe our suffering, and regain a state of contentment, which eventually will bring back our eagerness for life. I will also introduce two exemplary human beings whom we could call heroes, who were able to overcome tremendous tragedies and who, through their work, have been an inspiration to and easing the suffering of untold people. Imagine, if you can, having been born without arms and legs like Nick Vujicic. Nick is 27 years old now. He is an international motivational speaker traveling the world, giving highly inspirational lectures to public and special audiences such as children, teens, orphans, and the disabled, as well as to prison inmates. In my opinion, Nick has superhuman abilities. He is doing the near impossible. His message goes straight to the heart, and I urge you to take a look at Nick's videos, whose links I have provided in the text below. I was completely speechless and profoundly touched after watching what this man is achieving. It is unbelievable. No more excuses is all I can say. No matter how bad you think you have it, consider having Nick's unequivocal strength, willpower, and determination, living a life without limbs. One consolation that I experienced myself and that I have been observing with others and found to be very true is summed up by the saying, "Time heals all wounds." Sometimes it's just best to sit tight, bunker up, hunker down, and weather the storm in the knowing that time is on our side and that the sun will shine again. I'm not saying that our future situation will miraculously be exactly the same as that of the past. What I am saying is that it is possible to become happy once more. My mom used to love a particular passage from a booklet, Love and God, by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who brought transcendental meditation to the West. I'm reading you the passage to which my mom would listen to soothe herself when she was going through a particularly difficult time in her life. And I am hoping that these thoughts may be cheering you up also. Quote, "The sun shines, and it shines forever in fullness. It may be that the clouds are gathering. Let them come and go. They go as they come. Take no notice of their coming. You go your way. Make your way through the clouds. If they lie on your way, do not try to dispel them. Do not be held by them. They will go the way they have come. They are never found stationary. But if you like to pause to see them wither away, wait for a while. The wind is blowing anyway. It is to clear the clouds from your way. Just wait to see the clouds wither away, and the sun, the same old sun of love, will shine again in fullness of its glory. When night comes, all appears to be dark. But darkness does not last. The light of the dawn comes on and spreads the love and charm of life. So we shall not mind if the darkness of the night sets in for a while. For the light of love can for certain not be gone forever. So we live in love, and we wait in love to grow in life and gain fulfillment in love eternal." End quote. My mom told me repeatedly how these beautiful words never failed to encourage her. They made her take comfort in the thought that her sorrow was transient and would soon subside, that better times would come again with new possibilities, new opportunities, of which she hadn't thought before. She understood that time was her friend, because what time does in the end is that it heals all wounds. And this brings me to yet another consideration. Even traumatic experiences can be a blessing in disguise. One person who exemplifies this insight in a most wonderful and uplifting way is Joyce Meyer, a practical Bible teacher from the United States. From the time she was a little girl until she left home at 18, she had been severely sexually molested, abused, and raped by her father. She lived a life of constant trauma, which profoundly damaged her emotionally. Her life became so unbearable that she kept asking herself, "Where is God in all this? Why isn't God helping me?" But even as she was being abused and felt abandoned, and it seemed to her that nobody was going to help her, and that it would never end, right in the midst of that, deep down, she somehow knew that God had a plan for her. Later in life she realized that God did help her. God had given her the strength to go through it. Joyce thought that over the years, through all her work as a Bible teacher, she had forgiven her father. But one day she was made to realize that she had not fully forgiven him. God told her to move her sick and old parents closer to her and her husband's home, and to take care of her parents until their death. Her first reaction was that of utter rebuke, thinking that no loving God would ask of such a task. She thought, "What did they ever do for me?" And she heard God's reply, "You're breathing. They came together and gave you a life." She recounts that it was extremely hard for her to obey God's wish, but by reaching out and doing the near impossible, she was able to completely forgive her dad. And then something miraculous happened in her life. After several years, her father profoundly apologized to her for what he had put her through when she was young. She said that he had wanted to ask for her forgiveness for a long time, but hadn't been able to bring himself to doing so. To Joyce's great delight, he started to attend church service, received Christ on a Thanksgiving, and was baptized. Joyce said that he became, in her words, a sweet old guy. In later years, Joyce often used to say, "I wish I would never have been abused. I wish I would never have been abused." And one day when she was repeating this again, God said to her, "Stop saying that." And all of a sudden she realized that despite the horror of it all, she was glad that it had happened. Her explanation, quote, "Because I am a better person than I ever would have been. I am stronger, I know God better, I understand people's pain, and I believe that it's made me able to reach out to you in your pain and your need, and to tell you with all passion, God is alive, He loves you, He's got a good plan for your life, and don't you ever doubt that." Can you recover? You're looking at somebody who did. You're looking at the evidence that you can recover. There is no pit so deep that He can't reach down and lift you up. He will set your feet on a rock. He will give you a wonderful life. God has a plan. End quote. Joyce strongly believes in give God your pain and let Him turn it into gain. She believes that, regardless of a person's past suffering, God can help them on their way to enjoying everyday life. With her spiritual, inspirational books, conferences, and global broadcasts, she has been helping tens of millions of people all over the world. A New York Times best-selling author, Joyce has authored over 80 books which were translated into dozens of languages. Time magazine selected her as one of the most influential evangelical leaders in the U.S. Joyce holds an earned Ph.D. in theology from Life Christian University in Tampa, Florida, an honorary doctorate in divinity from Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and an honorary doctorate in sacred theology from Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. The other day, my Egyptian friend sent me a powerful verse from Hebrew 11:1. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Contemplate this. Hope, faith or believe, trust, expectation, knowing. If in doubt, or if all else fails, pray. It may just work. For me, it is smart to pray in bad times and in good times. For me, the best prayer is appreciation. I'm building an international community of people who are cultivating appreciation. If you'd like to join us, or if you'd like to share a story of a miraculous turnaround that happened to you or of which you have heard, you can contact me by writing to cultivatingappreciation@gmail.com. One word, cultivating appreciation. Thank you. And in conclusion, I'd like to leave you with two very fitting captions of beautiful photos I stumbled upon the day before yesterday, as serendipity would have it. When things are bad, we take comfort in the thought that they could always be worse. And when they are, we find hope in the thought that things are so bad, they have to get better. And the second reads, clouds may come, but clouds must go, and they all have a silver lining. For behind each cloud, you know, the sun or moon is shining. May my thoughts inspire you, my friends, in your times of pain and suffering.